This episode may contain content of a graphic nature, including descriptions of physical and sexual violence against adults, children, and animals. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya.
And I'm Talia.
And we are Crimes and Consequences, a true crime podcast. Hi, Talia.
Hi, Tanya.
Welcome back, everyone, to an exciting episode of Crimes and Consequences. I'm not going to ask you how you are.
Because I'm sick.
Yeah, you're not feeling well today.
I don't know what's wrong. It's kids. They're filled with germs.
Germ factory.
My daughter was sick, and now I'm sick.
I hope you don't make me sick.
Well,
anyway.
You'll get over it.
I'll get over it.
It's not deadly.
I hope not.
I don't think so. It's only day one, so... Wash your hands.
I have a story today that was suggested by Jess M. and Jennifer S.
Oh, two people.
Two people suggested this case. And before I start telling you, I would just like to remind everyone to hit the subscribe or follow button on your favorite app, and I'm going to get into it.
So if two people suggested it, is it a famous case that I would know?
I didn't know this one.
Okay.
It is about 9-year-old Erica Baker. Don't worry, it's not child abuse. Don't worry.
Good.
Okay,
God,
it's not that. I'm just telling everyone.
I can't do that anymore.
It's not child abuse, okay? It's not. But in February 1999, 9-year-old Erica Baker vanished from her neighborhood in Kettering, Ohio. Have you ever been to Kettering? I don't think I have.
I've been to Ohio, but...
Yeah, I've been to Ohio. I've driven through Ohio a few times.
Okay.
The investigation that would follow would shake residents to their core. Kettering was once considered a safe place to raise children, but now, they feel like a madman was on the loose when this happened.
Because she disappeared.
Yeah.
What was she doing when she disappeared?
I'm going to tell you all.
I'm sorry. I get excited.
Okay. So as I said, Kettering, Ohio, it's in Montgomery County. It's in Ohio's southwest.
Okay. By Kentucky?
I think so.
Oh, I got you there.
I know. Is that Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Yeah, it is. Right?
I don't know.
Kentucky
I don't
area.
have a fucking map. Anyway.
It's considered the inner suburb of Dayton,
Oh, okay.
Ohio.
Oh, Dayton.
And Kettering's really connected to Dayton. In 1999, Kettering had a population of about 58,000 people. So it's not huge,
right?
But it's not small. It just was considered a safe place to raise a family. There was lots of school and educational facilities, so it seemed like a great suburb to live. Parents instilled the motto, stranger danger, into their children. You told your kids, I'm sure. I told mine.
Oh, are you kidding me? I literally would drive by where they're playing and be like, I'm sorry, I lost my puppy. Could you help me find it? Or would you like some candy?
Did they ever fall for it?
They're just like, Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. They're like, Mom, what are you
doing?
You're embarrassing me. Go away.
Well, they learned, though.
Exactly. And 9-year-old Erica, she obviously was given this talk, too. So Erica was born on June 22nd, 1989, to her parents, Melissa, who went by Misty, and Greg Baker. Unfortunately, the relationship between Misty and Greg did not last, and the two eventually divorced. Erica was the youngest of 4 children, and she was the only girl. Greg Baker stated that his daughter was a real daddy's girl. The two loved to spend daddy-daughter time together, and Erica enjoyed camping, hiking, and fishing. And despite being small, she was just a little girl, Erica matched the energy of her 3 brothers, and she was very much the baby of the family. Her brothers were really protective of her. Erica could often be seen wearing pink, and it's safe to say it was her favorite color. Her childhood friend Katie reminisced, saying that the pair would often make up dance moves and wear matching outfits at sleepovers.
I feel like you're going to make me really sad, and you said you wouldn't.
Well, I told you it wasn't child abuse. I didn't say anything about not being sad.
Okay. All right, Tanya.
Katie and Erica were inseparable, partly because Katie lived just a couple doors down from Greg Baker. Erica was doing well at school, and she was interested in cheerleading. She also loved animals, like most little girls. She loved getting her hair done and wearing bows and braids. She loved all that stuff.
She's a girly girl.
Yeah, she loved to look her best and always flashed a smile at everyone she met. Those who knew Erica described her as a kind, sweet, and innocent young girl who was incredibly popular. By 1999, Misty was living with her mom, Pam Schmidt, and Misty and Greg were sharing custody of their 4 children. This arrangement worked well for the family, and Erica looked forward to spending her weekends in the Indian Riffle Park with her dad. The park was close to Erica's home, and she often wandered to the park for a day of adventure. There's also a recreation center and a senior center.
Oh, I feel like that's not good already. I don't even know what you're going to say.
A fishing pond, and the school Erica attended was within the park. There was always something for Erica to get into.
Was there adults watching Erica in the park?
I don't know, girl. Now listen.
Okay, you know. Go ahead, though.
So on February 7th, 1999, this was just a regular day in Kettering. The temperature was moderate, but it was rainy and dreary a little bit. On that day, Greg had the children, including Erica, and the 5 of them were getting ready to return to their mother's house. Greg bundled his children into the car and drove to Misty and Pam's house. While in the car, Greg and Erica talked about the father-daughter dance that was taking place at the rec center that night, the one that's in the park. Erica had asked her father to go with her. She had been asking him for weeks, but Greg wasn't able to get tickets. Like, it sold out.
What?
He called around.
They can make an exception? Come on.
You're going to turn away?
It's not a Taylor Swift concert here.
He called around to friends and family. He was just desperate to put a smile on little Erica's face because he knew she really, really wanted to go.
Then he should just sneak in.
Wouldn't that have been funny? That would have been a
What are they going to do?
I know.
No, you can't come here with your daughter all dressed up in pink.
Right? They're really going to turn away someone.
Sorry. It's sold out. When
Erica learned that her father hadn't secured the tickets for the dance, she was just heartbroken. And Greg felt a lot of guilt after Erica's disappearance because the dance took place around the same time she disappeared. And he just beats himself up to this day, thinking like,
if I would have just taken her to the dance, I would have just gotten those tickets. If I would have just busted in that place.
Right, exactly. I'm sure that's the thoughts that go through his head. He probably kills himself with guilt every day. So, as I mentioned, Greg and the kids are on their way to Misty's house. So after a short drive, they get there, and the children hopped out of the car, waiting in line to hug their dad goodbye, give him a little kiss. When Greg held his arms around his little girl, he had no idea it would be for the last time. I know, I'm sorry. Just before Erica stepped into the house, Greg promised her that he would make up for missing that father-daughter dance. Erica put her disappointment to the side when she saw her mom, Misty. She told her what she'd been up to with her dad that weekend. Like, we just had a lot of fun and whatever. And as I mentioned, so it's a little bit rainy. And Pam, who is Misty's mom and Erica's grandma, remembers the weather very well. February 7th is just forever etched in her mind. At around 3 p.m., Erica donned her favorite Winnie the Pooh sweater and pink raincoat. At first, Pam and Misty didn't want Erica to go outside in the rain, but she had promised to wear her raincoat.
I love being in the rain.
Oh, me too. So after pleading with her mother and giving the sad face, like, please.
I gotta go to the daddy-daughter dance. Can I please just go in the rain?
Exactly.
Please?
Can I just go outside? Pam and Misty said, okay, fine. You can go outside. Erica told her mom she was heading to Indian Riffle Park to take Jamie, and Jamie is a Shih Tzu dog. She was going to take Jamie for a walk.
So her parents didn't live that far from each other?
No, they didn't. Some sources say that Jamie was the family dog, but others say that the dog belonged to Erica's aunt. So I can't say, she took her dog. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, Erica left at about 3:30, and people recalled seeing her in her pink raincoat walking toward Indian Riffle Park. Misty and Pam trusted that Erica could walk the dog safely on her own. Indian Riffle Park was just a stone's throw away from their house, and the community was regarded safe and peaceful. Witnesses and people who knew Erica and her family recall seeing her in the park, walking and playing with Jamie. One witness would later come forward to investigators saying that they saw Erica standing by the bleachers, alone in the pouring rain. So it's wondered, why was she alone? Was she waiting for someone? Like, what's going on? That's a question that's never been answered.
Well, maybe she was just chilling for a second. I mean,
Yeah.
she was alone at the park.
And it's maybe she was under the bleachers just getting out of the rain.
Yeah.
2 joggers making their rounds in the park spotted Erica playing with Jamie. These 2 joggers are regarded as some of the last people to see Erica.
Oh, you're killing me already.
I know, I'm sorry. According to Missing Erica Baker, and Missing Erica Baker is a podcast by Dayton 24/7 Now. The podcast, a lot of the information in the podcast was used in this.
In our podcast.
Episode. Yes, in our podcast. So according to Missing Erica Baker, there was also an elderly couple who recalled seeing Erica in the park that afternoon, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. When Pam looked up through the basement window and saw that it was getting dark outside, she rushed upstairs to see if Erica and Jamie had returned. Like most children, Erica was scared of the dark. And Pam hadn't heard the front door slam shut that afternoon.
Yeah, there's no way a 9-year-old girl's going to be hanging out in a park in the dark.
Hell no.
I wouldn't even hang out in a park in the dark.
Hell no.
Unless I
Not
was
today.
Stoned,
No.
maybe.
I would suck that. No. I would not be hanging out in the park. In the rain, in the dark. No thank you.
No thanks.
No thanks.
That's where the creepers go.
Exactly. So Misty was equally worried. Erica had never failed to return home for dinner. Like most of us, when faced with a horrific situation, Misty ran to her mom, like, what are we going to do?
We're going to call the police.
Yes. Well, before they called the police, they put on their coats and went to the park to look for Erica. Pam and Misty's, that podcast I mentioned, that Missing Erica Baker podcast, Pam and Misty, they are interviewed on this podcast, and they're featured pretty heavily in it. Pam commented that during the initial hours of Erica's disappearance, she searched in bushes, trees, cars, and any other spot that she could think of. The 2 began calling Erica's friend's house to see whether she had taken shelter there, but she hadn't.
I'd have just called 911 right then and there and
honestly.
been that hysterical mom.
Oh my God, I know, right?
But I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
No, I know. Erica's brothers quickly figured out what was happening, and they took off to look for their baby sister. The group also searched the school in Indian Riffle Park, which Erica attended, along with the rec center where the father-daughter dance was taking place. Misty,
at the same time.
Yeah, maybe she
Maybe
went
she
there.
went in there.
Misty hoped, Erica had wandered into the dance, that maybe she had begged someone to let her in. But their hopes were shattered when the searches turned up no sign of Erica. After failing to locate her in the park, Pam ran home and placed the 911 call. Pam provided exact detail in the call to aid operators in getting the call through with correct information. She hadn't even finished giving the 911 operator all the details when she saw a swarm of flashing lights.
Oh, that's
outside.
awesome.
Yeah, they were quick. Around 6 p.m., Greg's home phone rang. He was in the middle of dinner, so he gets up from the table and he answers it, and it's Misty. His head just started to spin as he listened to his ex-wife and the mother of his children tell him that their daughter Erica was missing. In a state of panic and shock, Greg, Greg sped down to Misty's house. He was also in the Missing Erica Baker podcast, and he told them that seeing the sea of Kettering police cars outside of the home just cemented to him that this is serious, this is real. He just described the whole thing as being surreal. A command center was created in the park, that Indian Riffle Park, and the Kettering Police Department immediately began plans for the search for Erica. Dozens of residents poured into the park to see what was going on, and this is when they learned of Erica's disappearance. The Kettering Police Department deployed helicopters, search teams.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and sniffer dogs to try and locate Erica as soon as possible.
Sniffer dogs?
Sniffer dogs.
Okay. Scent dogs? What are they called? All right, sniffer, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not getting hung up at that.
Pam and Misty were told to stay home in case Erica returned, but they really wanted to be part of the investigation. They wanted to look for Erica.
Yeah, I would too. I'd have like one person can stay home. I'm going out.
Right. So this desire to want to be a part of the search just became too much, and they ended up returning to the park not long after they had stayed home for a little bit. Word of Erica's disappearance had spread like wildfire by this point. Kettering was very interconnected in a close-knit community, and over 300 residents turned up to the rec center to help look for her. Volunteers headed out with police units to scour every inch of Indian Riffle Park. Hours after the Kettering Police Department were alerted to Erica's disappearance, they also received a call about the dog, Jamie. Remember, she was with Jamie.
Yeah.
An elderly couple in their 60s had been walking through the park that afternoon with their dog, Muppet.
That's an elderly couple you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. When they spotted Erica and Jamie playing. And they said, though, but one moment she was there, and the next she was gone.
Okay, and they didn't see anything else?
No, and they didn't see anything else. And they told investigators that at around 5 p.m., that's when they found Jamie alone. The dog was soaking wet and terrified, and her collar and her leash were still attached. And this became just crazy because Erica would have never left the dog.
Right.
That couple wasn't aware of the significance of their discovery at the time, and Jamie was taken to a local pound like they didn't know. But she was later reunited with the family.
Tracker dogs.
Sniffer dogs. Investigators were now slowly piecing together Erica's last movements. To her family, it just made no sense she would leave Jamie alone. She was a social butterfly that would talk to anyone, but she also loved animals. At 10:30, Detective Bob Green received a call. Now, Detective Green was a new detective, had only been a detective for 7 months, but he was known for having impeccable interviewing and interrogation skills. And he had no idea that this call would change the course of his career. He was briefed about Erica's disappearance and was asked to get down to the makeshift command center as soon as possible. When he arrived, he spoke with fellow officers to get a handle on the situation. And before I tell you more, we're going to take a break. The detective's first thought was that maybe Erica had fallen into, there's a pond in this park, and it's like 2.9 million gallons.
Oh, that's huge.
It's huge. It's the size of a football field. And according to the CDC, drowning is the leading cause of death in children under 4. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I didn't know that.
I think poisoning is up there too.
Really? Them accidentally eating something that they shouldn't? The water levels in this pond were unusually high due to the heavy rainfall that the area had gotten recently. Detective Green immediately set his sights on the pool.
Well, if there's rainfall, wouldn't there be footprints and things?
You would think so, right?
Because it was raining.
Yeah,
right?
It was raining.
When you see like little footprints?
Yeah.
I'm not a detective.
I know. I'm not a detective either, but you would think so, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pam and Misty watched as officers began to search the pond. They immediately knew in their hearts that Erica wasn't in the water. She was described as a strong swimmer and had fished dozens of times in the park with her dad, Greg. She also knew how to get herself out of the water, but nonetheless...
It happens.
Yeah.
Kids drowned. And
so it gets searched. Volunteer searchers continued to look for Erica throughout the night. The Kettering Fire Service also joined the search, and media crews had slowly begun creeping into the park.
Who had? Oh, media.
Yeah, media. By the next morning, Erica's disappearance had made Kettering news, and everyone was talking about it. Suspicions immediately flew Greg's way. I don't know, you know how people are.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know.
He couldn't even take her to a daddy-daughter dance.
Right, exactly, right? The people of Kettering had once considered Greg a friend. They now considered maybe he is the one that's responsible.
How horrible is that? Your kid is missing and people think you did it.
I know people avoided him on the streets. It was just bad.
They can all fuck off.
Right. Neighbors and colleagues of the family began to talk too, airing any secrets that the pair, like Greg and Misty, may have divulged in innocent conversations.
And all of a sudden, things that weren't suspicious before,
right?
All of a sudden, you like look at it a different way.
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly. Katie, Erica's best friend that I told you about before, she remembers that the neighborhood children were no longer allowed to walk to the bus stop alone or play outside without supervision. The entire town was on edge, and the children of Kettering were just confused. Why was Erica's school desk empty? When was she coming home? Katie also said she had no idea Erica was missing until she saw it on the morning news. Her parents didn't even tell her.
What?
I know. When the sun came up on February 8th, 1991, Greg and Misty realized that their little girl wasn't coming home.
You're breaking my heart right now.
I know, I'm sorry. The notion hit both of them incredibly hard. While officers searched and drained the pond, the FBI was notified, and they arrived on the scene shortly thereafter. Detectives and FBI agents held 2 briefings daily at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. For the next few months, detectives would work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week to find Erica.
This is not like New York City. It's 58,000 people in it.
Right. It's just like a suburb of Ohio. It's just sad. For the next 2 to 3 days, the Kettering Police Department, assisted by experts and other agencies, drained that 2.9 million gallon pond. The operation continued until the last drop was gone, and they didn't find anything.
They didn't find anything?
No.
I always think they'd find a body or something, or a car.
Like a bicycle or something. Right? They didn't find anything. Pam and Misty knew that Erica hadn't been in the water, but this really gave them no relief. She wasn't in the pond.
So where is she?
Yeah, so where is she?
That's not a better scenario when you think about it.
No. Shortly after Erica's disappearance, remember that elderly couple I told you about?
Yeah.
Who found the dog?
Jamie.
Yeah. They agreed to be interviewed. The man, Rex, told investigators everything he knew and agreed to be put under hypnosis.
Oh, I love hypnosis.
Yeah, to see if there was any subconscious memories. He told the police department that the condition of Jamie struck them as odd. Rex recalled that the park was empty and that Erica and Jamie were playing near the bleachers. One moment she was there, the next she was gone. All known sex offenders in the area were questioned, as well as Erica's family.
They didn't see any cars there or anything?
No. Misty, Pam's partner, and Greg were all interviewed. This interrogation did little to quell the rumors of Greg's involvement.
Yeah, they're being interviewed.
Yeah, the police are talking to him. In one instance, he walked into a restaurant in Kettering and noticed that everyone pulled their children away from him. I mean, come on.
Man.
People are just idiots sometimes.
Yeah, but then they don't know.
Right.
They might think he did. And what if he did?
I know. He was actually asked to leave, as the waitress felt it was too sad to serve him. Despite what the townspeople said, Greg continued to search for his little girl. As the investigation progressed, the command center moved from the parking lot to the rec center, the same rec center where the daddy-daughter dance was held.
Is this months later still?
I don't know how long it is. Yeah, it's months later. Greg felt tinges of pain and regret that he couldn't take Erica to the dance. And like I said, he still has this feeling today. Pam and Misty spent as many hours as possible at the rec center, manning the phone lines. A dedicated tip line had been created for Erica, and the tips poured in. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the FBI stayed with the investigation at no cost to the city of Kettering. On June 22nd, 1999...
No, wait, how long is this?
She disappeared February.
Oh, okay, months.
This is 4 months later. Misty brought a sheet cake to the command center and celebrated what would have been Erica's 10th birthday. Heartbreakingly, she cut the first slice and said she would freeze it to save for Erica when she came home.
Oh, man.
I know. Pam, Misty, and Greg displayed resilience and mental fortitude throughout the investigation.
Well, at least they didn't blame each other.
Yeah, right?
Point the fingers at each other.
I know, at least they stuck together, yeah, like you said. Their dedication helped to keep Erica's case alive, and they're the reason that Erica's case continues to make headlines. Tips and leads poured in, but they often led to dead ends. The residents of Kettering were on edge, thinking that a child killer was on the loose. Kettering is about 5 miles from Dayton, like from downtown Dayton, and most residents felt that these types of crimes only happened in the bigger cities. In July 1999, Pam picked up the phone and received a tip that would change the course of the investigation. The caller uttered one name, Christian Gabriel.
To Pam?
Yeah. Because she's at the command center, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Christian Gabriel and his girlfriend at the time, Jan Franks, were known to the Kettering Police Department. The pair used drugs and often found themselves in trouble with the law. Around the same time, Detective Green received a call from Clifford Butts, a prisoner who had recently watched America's Most Wanted. Erica's case had been featured, and he told Detective Green he knew what happened to Erica. Detective Green sprung into action and immediately drove to meet with Clifford. This is where Erica's case takes a bizarre turn.
Oh, boy.
Christian,
so wait, we got a guy in prison that was watching America's Most Wanted.
Said, hey, I know what happened.
Okay.
You got to talk to this guy, Clifford.
Clifford Butts.
Clifford told the detective, you got to talk to Christian.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one of the stories that Christian told the police. During Clifford's meeting with Detective Green, he said Christian confessed to accidentally killing Erica on February 7th. That afternoon, Clifford, his wife, Christian, and Jan, which was Christian's girlfriend.
So Clifford was out of jail.
Clifford was out of jail. They were in the parking lot of a supermarket. Christian left his van, and he said that's when the accident happened. So it's believed that Christian and Jan were high on crack at the time.
Crack is smack, man.
Yep. And this account of what happened would later change.
So this is Clifford's account of what happened. Okay.
Then Detective Green brought Christian in for interrogation and a lie detector test.
Oh, and he agreed?
Yeah, I guess so. During the initial interview, Christian maintained his innocence and told officers he didn't kill Erica, he didn't know who did, and he didn't know if her body was somewhere. He had no idea. Detective Green was determined to discover the truth, even if it was going to take him like the rest of his life.
And you told me he's really good at interrogation and all that.
And he knew that something about Christian's story just wasn't right. So he continued to apply the pressure. Investigators were also interested in Jan Franks. That was Christian's girlfriend.
Yeah, you got to get the woman. They break quicker.
Right. Because Clifford Butts also said that Jan was there in the van that day. But they would come to find out that Jan was married while she was dating Christian. So she immediately lawyered up and was assigned a federal public defender named Beth Lewis.
So that means they charge her.
Yeah.
She's assigned an attorney.
I don't know why they would charge her. Charge her with what?
Well, she's assigned an attorney. I mean, she's charged with something. Who knows? Some bullshit, misdemeanor, being in a park when you shouldn't be. Something, whatever.
Right? Applying the pressure. Beth Lewis was determined not to let the Kettering Police Department nor the FBI talk to her client, Jan. Throughout the 1990s and the early 2000s, Beth continued to create a wall of silence around Jan.
So Beth is Jan's attorney.
Yep.
And she's doing a badass job.
Yep. She's defending her client.
Yeah.
Then in 2001, Jan Franks passed away due to an overdose. So who knows what she knew.
I feel like as an attorney, I'd be like, okay, now I can write that book.
Right. I know.
But you can't, but you want to.
I know. I told you, like, Jan was married. Her husband couldn't break that attorney-client confidentiality privilege. But he decided after she died, he was going to do what was right.
Her husband?
Mm-hmm. And he went to Erica's family.
Because, I mean, there's no marital privilege anymore. She's dead.
Right.
Who's going to question that?
Jan's husband wanted Beth to go to Erica's family and be like, okay, we have to come clean. But Beth continued to stay quiet. She argued her case for several years. That was until she was hit with a contempt of court order. The Ohio Supreme Court unanimously decided Beth Lewis had to talk in 2004.
As an attorney?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. They made her, though. The prosecutor, Matthias Heck Jr., told AP News, quote, anything and everything we can get is what we're after. We want every bit of information we can about what happened, where Erica is, and what happened to her. After this Supreme Court ruling, Beth Lewis had no choice but to talk, and guess what? She had no viable information for the police.
Oh, okay.
To this day, nobody knows why Beth went to extreme lengths to protect information that wasn't even useful.
Yeah, I mean, if you know nothing.
Just said, I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, I'll talk to you guys. This is what my client said. My client didn't say shit.
I know. In this process, she picked up a contempt of court charge.
I've never had one of those.
I haven't either. Not yet.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Not yet. She likely ruined her professional reputation. I mean, I don't know.
Or she got more publicity and people called her all the time.
That's true.
Beth won't say shit.
Beth won't say shit. I know, right? But I don't know what she's doing today. The pressure on Christian was also mounting. He had found himself a new girlfriend. Jan was married to somebody else, and plus she passed away. And this girlfriend had no idea about his possible involvement in Erica's case. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children decided to up the ante and showered the area where the pair lived with Erica's missing persons posters and flyers. At one point, Christian's new girlfriend demanded to know what was going on. This moment was captured during a recorded prison call.
Why was he in prison?
He was serving time on unrelated charges.
I demand to know on a prison phone
Yeah.
if you killed somebody. Okay, well, girl, I ain't telling you shit.
I know.
I'm on a prison phone.
So Christian's new girlfriend, she was then contacted by Detective Green. He briefed her on the case, and when Kettering Police Department officers arrived to her door, she was exceptionally forthcoming. Living in the area, she had heard of Erica's case, but she had no idea that her boyfriend and the father of her child,
she had a kid with him,
had been interviewed and viewed as a suspect. When she welcomed the officers into her home, she guided them toward the kitchen. The officers were confused at first.
Yeah, what the fuck's in the kitchen?
She approached the fridge, removed herself from view, and pointed to Erica's missing poster that she had placed there.
Okay. All right.
She also revealed that Christian had relapsed and began smoking crack again. As Christian had found himself incarcerated once more, Detective Green decided it was time to pay him another visit. Detective Green said, "So I had a chair right next to him, and I moved over him. I said, 'Why don't you tell me more about that?' And as I'm listening, I said to myself, I will never forget this for as long as I live." On July 19th, 2004, Christian confessed to Detective Green that he, Jan Franks, Clifford Butts, and Clifford's wife had been in his van that day after being at the supermarket, like I told you. They were driving on the intersection of Glengarry Drive and Powhatan when they heard the thud of something hitting the van. But it wasn't something, it was Erica.
I know this story.
Do you?
Now I do.
Christian claimed that she darted out into the middle of the road and there was nothing he could do to stop. According to Detective Green, Christian could describe both Erica and the dog Jamie right down to the minute details of Jamie's adorable little doggy mustache. He then claimed they all panicked, threw Erica into the back of the van, and drove to his apartment. Christian couldn't remember whether Erica was alive or dead when he threw her into the van. Instead of calling police or seeking help for Erica, they drove back to his apartment, left her body in the van, and then the four smoked crack.
Okay.
Just to take the edge off. And while they were smoking crack, they decided what they were going to do with Erica. As Detective Green pointed out, they could have driven Erica to a nearby hospital.
But they were smoking crack, Tanya. That's the problem.
They could have left her at the entrance. I mean, they didn't even have to.
Just even leave her on the road and called anonymously.
Right. But instead, they're going to do something really stupid. After finishing their crack smoking, apparently, Jan hopped into the driver's seat and assured Christian that she knew a great spot to hide a body.
Oh, that's nice.
And that little Erica would never be found.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I know. Detective Green would later question the validity of this confession as Jan Franks couldn't drive a manual car.
Oh, it was a stick shift.
Yeah, it was a stick shift. I can't drive one either.
I can. I'm badass with a stick shift, but that's fine. They don't have them anymore, but...
I tried to learn once when I had owned a Mustang, but I bought an automatic instead.
You had a Mustang. You're such a badass, Tanya.
It was a convertible. I love that car.
Aw, of course you would.
And then I got pregnant and had to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's right. You got a fucking minivan instead.
One day I'm going to get that Mustang back. Another convertible. One day. And it's going to be an automatic because I can't drive a stick. Anyway, the four drove to Huffman Dam. And again, Christian gave varying stories. At first, he told Detective Green that he could take them to where Erica's body was, which was a 15 or 30-minute walk into the woods. Then he changed his story and said that he had stayed in the van while the others went to get rid of Erica, and that he was drunk and high. He also threw in details such as Clifford coming back without a coat, and also said they had possibly driven to Cedar Creek State Park, a whole 26 miles away from Huffman Dam.
What the fuck,
I know,
man?
Where the fuck is it? Like, where did you go?
I mean, I get you're cracked out, but come on.
I know, come on. According to Detective Green, Christian asked for a bathroom break, like during this confession.
I'm sorry, I have to go pee.
I know. And as he was leaving the room, he turned to Detective Green and said, "What would I get for tampering with evidence, gross abuse of a corpse, and vehicular manslaughter?"
Oh.
At this point, Christian had pretty much confessed to driving the van that day, and Detective Green knew he had what he needed. It would take several months, but on December 13th, 2004, Christian Gabriel provided the Kettering Police Department with a written confession. Part of his confession read, "I'm really sorry, Mrs. Baker, for what has been done. Nothing was done to her after she was hit. She wasn't raped or anything like
sweet.
that. I know, because I'm not that sick of a person."
Well, that's nice to know that he wouldn't rape a girl he hit on a fucking road.
I know. "I could just hurt some And then it's sick, like when somebody makes a mistake and it's SIC, like, so they fucked it up. He wrote something fucked up here. Like, it didn't make sense. So I could just hurt some that is so precious in God's eyes. Again, I'm sorry. So I think maybe he meant I couldn't hurt someone.
But I could put her in the trunk and go smoke crack and not know if she's alive or dead and then go get rid of her body.
Though. Yeah.
But okay. No, he's got standards.
He does.
Can fuck off.
I know, right? In October 2005, just 3 days before the statute of limitations was up, it was a 6-year statute.
For what? Vehicular manslaughter?
Well, he was indicted on charges of tampering with evidence and gross abuse of a corpse.
Oh.
Several weeks later, he was found guilty on both counts and sentenced to a shocking 6 whole years in prison. While Pam, Misty, and Greg were relieved that someone had finally been held accountable for Erica's disappearance, the sentence nor the charges really felt like justice.
And we don't even know if he's fucking telling the truth about any of this shit.
I know. He couldn't be charged with murder because according to Ohio law, a body must be found before someone can be charged.
I bet that's an old law.
Christian's story has changed so much over the years that nobody believes him at all. Was it really an accident or was Erica targeted? Christian claimed that he wanted to take Erica to the hospital, but Jan, who is no longer alive to dispute this, said it would get them in trouble. Some believe the group didn't turn themselves in due to the drug use, prior convictions, or maybe the fact that they likely had drugs in the van. No DNA evidence was ever found in Christian's van, and by the time it had been forensically searched, it had been cleaned and given to a new owner.
This better have some sort of closure for me, Tanya.
As if this case doesn't have enough twists and turns, there's still more. In June 2011, Christian was released after serving his measly 6-year sentence. The residents of Kettering were anticipating his release and were shocked to see that a car was waiting outside the prison for him. Inside sat a woman, but it wasn't Christian's mom who had stood by him throughout the case. It was someone else's mom.
He fell in love in fucking prison?
No, it was Pam.
Pam?
Yeah.
Grandma?
Yeah.
Grandma?
Yes. When Greg Baker heard that Pam had picked Christian up from prison, he was livid.
What the fuck is this shit?
I know. He was pissed. Christian had been convicted of abusing a corpse and tampering with evidence, and now Pam's giving him a ride home.
She must believed his sorry tale.
Well, she said, this is how she defended herself. She said the only reason she picked him up on his release day was because she wanted to talk to him face to face. She practically begged Christian to take her to her granddaughter's body and even told him that she had a shovel in the boot of the car ready to bring Erica home.
What? Oh, man.
I know. She told Fox 19, "I've done everything I can to try and convince him to tell me. I even picked him up and took him to his mother, hoping he would talk to me."
Okay. Well, I guess I see she's lost it.
Yeah,
she's
unfortunately,
desperate.
this move didn't pan out.
Oh, surprise.
And Christian just feigned ignorance. Pam was just shattered.
She thought she could somehow reach his soul, but she didn't realize he has no fucking soul.
He has no fucking soul, right? Somebody with no soul does something like this. You accidentally hit somebody, if that's what really happened. You just bury their body because you panicked.
And don't remember where you buried
exactly. Because you bury so many bodies, right? Come on. Pam, Misty, and Greg continue to advocate for Erica and want her remains so they can give her the burial she deserves. As of 2023, Erica's case is still being investigated.
Stop, I wanted an end.
And although Detective Bob Green is now retired, he does not say that Erica's case is cold, and neither do those still working on it in the Kettering Police Department. In 2022, a new witness came forward who stated that they had seen Christian's van in Huffman Dam on the evening of February 7th, 1991.
And that's one of the places he had said he was at, right?
Yeah. This witness did not come forward earlier because they feared repercussions.
How would you remember that? Like, I wouldn't remember if I saw it.
They might know him. That's what I'm maybe. Okay. Maybe that's why they feared repercussions.
And of course he has to drive a van.
Exactly, right?
No offense to all the other van drivers, but you know what I'm saying.
The police department continues to do searches and such. And during one of these searches recently in 2022, forensic investigators came across bones at Huffman Dam. Unfortunately, they were later determined to be non-human. But the find has only encouraged the Kettering Police Department to keep looking. Texas EquiSearch has also sent officers and resources to Kettering. Sniffer dogs were also brought in, and these dogs hit on 2 locations close to a creek. Interestingly, the area that was searched and where the dogs alerted was smack dab in between Huffman Dam and there's another state park, like that other state park that Christian had talked about. Detective Green, I mentioned, has long since retired, but he was present for the 2022 search that was brought about. He celebrates Erica's birthday every year and vows to never forget her. Her case is one of the only ones in his career that remain sort of unsolved. Technically, it's unsolved.
We don't really know what happened.
Right. And he's made it his mission to bring the family closure before he and they pass away. Misty and Pam have moved away from Kettering. They were unable to stay in the home that held so many memories and so much pain for them.
I wouldn't be able to stay in that town either.
I know. Pam, Misty, and Greg celebrate Erica's birthday every year.
I would drive around all the time, just
I know, right?
hoping searching woods and
I know.
losing my mind.
Christian Gabriel has since dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh, good.
I mean, nobody knows where he's
Literally?
at. No. I mean, nobody knows exactly where he's at. Authorities believe he might be living in Oregon, but nobody knows. Pam has said that the only real closure that she would have would be if Erica walked through the door. I know. If she's still alive, Erica would be 33 years old today. And anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Mason of the Kettering Police Department at 937-296-2555, quoting case number 990266. And that's the end of the story.
Man.
I know.
I mean, they probably were on crack and hit her.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
And then there were a bunch of fucking idiots on crack that didn't know what to fucking do. And
yeah.
How's there no blood on the dog leash?
I know. Like, I'm thinking maybe the dog got away from her and she ran to go get it and she ran into the street and these idiots are coming by barreling down.
Yeah.
And they accidentally
cranking
hit her.
some music, smoking some crack.
I mean, that could have happened. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure.
That's sad.
I know. I'm sorry. I
don't want a sad one.
Every story we do is sad, Talia.
Yeah, you're right.
It's usually about someone being murdered.
That's true. But some touch me more than others.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, we got some shout outs. We haven't done them in a while.
Oh, we had to do that. These are our favorite people ever.
And if you're wondering who they are, these are people that have signed up for our Patreon.
Yep.
And if you are an Apple subscriber and would like a shout out, Apple does not give us your name or share any information about you.
Because Apple doesn't share shit.
Yeah, so you have to contact us directly. And you can email us contact@crimesandconsequences.com. So anyway, these are our shout outs.
Yeah, patreon.com/TNT
Crimes.
TNT Crimes.
We have Mike M, Denise W, Tisha P, Sam G, Kai T, Tammy S, Frank C. I'm going to mess this person's name up.
No, we always do.
Than T. It's THANH.
I don't know.
I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
Fainton.
Than. I'm sorry. Lauren H. Leanne F. Hund G.
What?
We have a member from Iceland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome.
Welcome. Barb D. Laura N. Luffy Peed. I'm not sure who that is.
Luffy Peed.
Luffy Peed.
Who's Luffy?
I don't know. Luffy Peed, though. Zoe N, Sarah F, Michelle Y, Mackenzie B, Erica B, Robert C, Nicole T, Deborah W, Sean S.
Holy shit, there's a lot.
I know we haven't done it in a while. Jennifer G, Monica V, Jennifer M, Ainsley K, Anna G, Trista S, Kai D, Max F, Subin A, Janae H, Brianna G, Megan S, Jennifer P, Ashley S, Nicole S, Cinna C, Amelia P, Naomi F.
There's a lot of P's going on.
Yeah.
Here.
Vanessa F, Nicolette G, Nicole P, Jordan J, and Belinda L.
Woo!
Woo-hoo-hoo! Thank you.
Cool people.
You guys are rock. So.
Yeah, bless you.
God bless. We love all of you. So we've told you about our Patreon. You can also find us on social media at Hardcore True Crime on Facebook and Instagram. And until our next episode.
Don't kill each other.
Bye.
Bye.